Hi. I'm in a strange space. As usual, have no idea what I'll be saying, but I want to share from heart. I just got back from my very first ice cream social. Closest I've gotten to that is to read about it in a book. It was thrown for the women veterans by a ladies' organization here in town. And so there were only two of us that showed up, but a nice time was had by all. I'm in a funny place, kind of pondering the whole idea of country and flags and military. I used to say that I come from a family that's very red, white, and blue. We've had family members in the military. I've tracked it back, or my dad did, as far as the Civil War. We had one on either side, one in the north and one in the south. But if we look at the whole concept of a country and of where our country is right now, but just the whole concept of country is something that separates your country versus my country. Now it's true that even cities and states and all of that are other ways to separate. Whenever we label something, we've separated it out by giving it a word, just by naming something. In a way, it's recognizing that it's separate, which is okay, I suppose, as long as we don't lose the sense of the underlying oneness of everything. And unfortunately, I think we do a lot of the time. These days, it's hard. I don't care what country you're in. Well, except maybe Iceland. They seem to be doing so well in so many ways. But there's a lot of difficulty and dissension. I think largely because of the overall power structure that is running things and how they've gotten to the top, what kind of morals and ethics they displayed, and behavior while there, instead of having the best interests and welfare of the whole, of the one, at heart and working to bring that about. There's a lot of separatism. What's best for me, myself, and I, and my family, and my group, and seeking of power, seeking to keep power. Now, friends, I think in a way we can be grateful that we're on the path of love and not the path of power. And I suppose some of us are on the path of wisdom. I think if you take things down to their most basic, those are the three that you come up with: power, wisdom, and love. And there are harsh and difficult testings on all of those paths. But I think it's easiest to lose yourself when studying power and seeking the mastery of power. Just like love and wisdom, power properly used is simply awesome. It's just another manifestation of Source. I mean, everything is love. We don't even have to separate it out into anything, but power, wisdom, and love is pretty basic. You can kind of look at yourself, look at your children, look at the people around you, and it can be fairly clear which path their heart sings to, which one they're most resonant with. And so, how do we visualize the golden age? We look at what we have now, And we know we want something so far better that it's astronomical. So how do we visualize that? One of the ways I'm doing it is losing the separation. This whole concept of a one world government is being used to frighten us. And if the turkeys that are in power now were the ones running that, well, it would be pretty awful. Nothing can frighten us, though, not if we remember who and what we are. We're not bodies, and we're not minds. And it's bodies and minds that may be vulnerable. We are not. We are invincible. We are. We are light. You know, nothing can harm the light. It can't happen. It can't be done. So, knowing that and claiming that and standing in that takes a lot of the worry and the fear away. Worry and fear help us make bad decisions. Fear is perhaps the worst energy vibration we can get into because it cuts us off from the light. It short circuits the light. And so as we qualify the energy that comes to us from source, from above, if you will, we send it out with the earmark of fear. And it's just, there's nothing good about it, except that it's a good learning opportunity. So if we can just watch ourselves, a lot of our decisions are made based on fear. And if we're not self-observant, we won't be consciously aware of that. The mind likes to rationalize things, and it will give us good quote-unquote reasons that are nothing but excuses to justify our decisions, our behavior, our words. Anytime you find anger, for instance, if you'll sit and watch that over a period of time, it might not take you long at all, you'll see that there's always fear under anger. Anger and rage is fear that's not being dealt with in the best way, perhaps. So, but one of the things when I envision the golden age for us, what it'll be like, we don't know if we're going to 5D or anything like that. These are, you hear that a lot here and there, and what I'm seeing is that practically every day, certainly every week, I can tell the difference in frequency and vibration. Our energy is rising, and that's good enough. Where it eventuates, well, there are no endings. You know, there are just new beginnings. And so I'm not looking to any kind of final culmination. Let's pull our wings in on that and not trying to be flying off into the future and be here now. And as we pull ourselves into the now, our heart will be motivated to send up those prayers that will help raise the vibration. I'm with Anelia Benz. We're here to raise the frequency of the planet and all the beings. And how best to do that? Well, certainly to be here now. Now is all there really is. Anytime we're not anchored in now, we're not in touch and in tune with our higher self. Our higher self is always right here, right now. And that's vast. The here and now is vast. You know, put the words now here together and you get nowhere. The void. I mean, it's ultimate and awesome. When we're here now, or now here. We're in superposition everywhere. That's when we literally can step out of or above time-space. We're already higher dimensional. We're already multidimensional. Mostly we don't access it because mostly we don't spend time in now. You know, we're always planning something or pondering something that happened in the past. And so we don't get to hear the still small voice. And synchronicities happen for us and around us all the time. If we're not now here, we don't see them. We don't get the heads up that inner self gives us via the still small voice to point it out and show it to us. We don't notice. So it's important to keep our focus trained within and to be self-observing. I keep slipping away from the country thing. Okay, when I'm envisioning a golden age, I'm envisioning, you know how you love your country and how it's dear to your heart, and in a way it's like your family? Well, the whole world will be that. We'll know that we're kin. We'll know that we're one, and we'll be living, the ultimate standard will be unconditional love. And there won't be any need to separate out. We'll be coming together based on following our bliss and our joy. And we'll come into union and create different groups that way, instead of these artificial things like countries that think they have to go to war with one another. You know, we'll be so far beyond even the concept of war and fighting that it'll be blasphemous, you know? I mean, shocking. When you go into meditation, or when you go into heart, when you go into higher consciousness, however you get there, how you feel then, that will be the overall tone of all of society. Everyone will be dealing with everyone else based on love and respect, an awesome respect, giving one another the true dignity of honoring their choices in everything that pertains to them. No one will be trying to run anyone else's life for them, trying to make anyone else's decisions for them. And there's a humility. It's funny. I never expected to find humility in heart. It's got nothing to do with ego. It's so it's not like an anti-ego or anything like that. It's almost as if in heart you're in superposition everywhere, and you're also spread out across time. You're every when. And it's almost as if you have some sort of a grasp of the awesomeness of creation. And you're humble in the presence of that. And grateful. Words. We won't be using words either. We'll have something even better than telepathy. We'll have the kind of communion with one another that people find when they're having an NDE, a near-death experience. You get a whole, like a book, delivered in one lump. And it's everything, and it's a really deep understanding, and in 3D it even takes time to sort through it and realize what you've been given. Communication I don't know, maybe it's quantum. I don't know what it is. And we'll have access to all knowledge. And everyone will. And so, again, our focus will be carving out a path based on following our bliss. The thing that delights you the very most will be what you occupy yourself with. And so, if we can spend moments in contemplation, in meditation, and if your heart is moved, do say some prayers about it. That was hard for me for a while. I used to pray, I had this concept of God that we're all brought up with, some being out there. I used to call it the Father, Mother God because I didn't like the way it was made so male, and I just knew that the mother energy was every bit as important as the father energy. And now instead, my prayers are to Source and even to my own higher self to invoke that. It's not that it isn't here already. Our higher self, you can't be separated from it. It's a ridiculous thought to think that we could be separated from it, or we have to earn it or attain it or go find it. All of that is nonsense. It is here. It is now. It's a matter of tuning in. And so I call for my higher self to be one with my conscious awareness. I want to be conscious of my higher self. And so we want to invoke the highest blessings we can for the planet and for all beings that live here. All beings making our way here. We're all one. And, I have a quote that I wrote down. I thought it was really well said. This is by Betty Eadie. She's the one that early on wrote a book called Embraced by the Light. She had 3 near-death experiences that were very, very intense. And she's written a number of books now. But she was being interviewed on Coast to Coast AM, and she said, everything we speak with our mouth, we create. She saw how this works from the other side. To speak is to create. Now, creation occurs first at the vibrational levels, so it's an energy, it's a thought form, and so the physical eyes don't see that. Of course, in our golden age, I'm seeing us perceiving the aura and everything else. We'll be able to see a lot more than we do now. But creation starts, to my best understanding, on the etheric plane. And then it comes down to the mental, and then the emotional, and then it becomes physical. So everything we speak with our mouth, we create. So we start the spiral with our spoken word. Now you're all watching me cleaning up my language, all these little phrases that are no good, such as the rule of thumb is this or that. The rule of thumb was common law for how big the stick could be that you beat your wife with. There's no need to keep such a saying, such a phrase. And certainly swearing and things that we say casually, just because our eyes don't see the creation we've made there, that doesn't pardon us. That doesn't, we're still responsible for what we create. So it's good to know that whatever comes out of our mouth is a creation. All right. Do I have anything more? I want to get over worrying about the clock. That's a silly thing. With no clocks on the wall or my wrist, for me to be worried about how long I speak is to be in mind. And it's been rough for me, very rough. these last 3 to 5 days. We're in a solar storm, and it's been very intense. It's lightening up some, but the solar wind is still blowing and probably will for the next few days. I find that I'm very sensitive to that. I didn't used to be, but we're all getting more sensitive to energies. And so it's good to be aware of all the different things that can influence us. Once upon a time, we thought we were the body, and maybe not a lot of things influence the body. Well, we're not the body. We're not the mind. We're this consciousness, this awareness, this energy being. And with frequencies rising, you're going to find you're more sensitive to everything. Maybe even allergies, electricity, electrical fields. DC is better for the body's energy field than AC. It's interesting, this light therapy unit that I got, that Mellon Thomas Benedict makes, the Dream Spa, has a little converter so that it's running on DC energy. It takes the AC from the wall and converts it to DC. So even the power it's running on is energy friendly. And so I've been, when we're taken up a notch, it can be depressing. Because what happens is when you're at a higher frequency, it shows up your flaws that you weren't seeing because they're at a lower frequency. But when you rise above them, then you can see them. And so I have been shown how much more I am in mind than I thought I was. And it's a lot. It's been very disappointing. And I've been working with this energy of depression. And it's challenging, but our most down times can come as a result of being given the great gift of having your frequency and vibration juiced and raised up a notch. So everything's backwards here in 3D. And we truly can learn to offer gratitude for the tough stuff. And when you have an attitude like that, that means that's the way your energy's flowing. Your attitude is like the highway on which your energy flows. And when you have an attitude of gratitude about everything, you will be shown a lot more because you are open to it. When we have a negative attitude, it's shutting the door on certain things. We won't see the really neat things because we've put the blinders of a bad attitude on. And so I did want to admit and share that I was very glad I had recorded 3 things in a row so that there was no way during this downtime that I felt like turning this camera on at all. And it was really great to have those videos to still share with you, even though I was feeling so down. So hang in, stay in hard. That's what I've been doing. And just trust. Everything is okay. I could care less how things look. Everything is okay. It really and truly is. And heart vision, with heart vision, we can see this. And it doesn't take the hard stuff away, but oh my God, it lightens it. It really does. It doesn't weigh nearly as much. Sending you love. Good day.